I feel as though a lot of news has come out recently about the parks reopening, and it's really got me into the mood for creating the content I originally wanted to make. I'm hoping that soon more Disney vlogs will be on their way. But for today, I'm just going to show you everything that I like to take around the park with me. Depending on what kind of day it is, who I'm traveling with, I will have a bunch of different day bags that I might potentially take, and I'm just quickly going to walk through what they could be. First one is a classic, a small Disney style backpack. Obviously it doesn't actually have to be Disney themed, but they sell these all over the place. This one's actually from Primark, but you can buy the Loungefly ones within the Disney park and in other stores as well. The second type of day bag I would potentially take would be just a regular sized backpack. Obviously if you have children or a bigger party, you might need more things, so you could definitely take one of those, and they're super easy to carry around all day and they don't get too annoying or in the way. The third option is a bum bag. Now this is probably my go-to. I don't have any children, I usually just travel with one or two other people, so I don't need to take that much stuff, and this is just perfect. You don't have to take it off for rides. They usually just tell you to move it around to the side so that it's not in the way of the lap restraint if there is one. And other than that, it can just fit a few things like a battery pack, your phone, and very, very essential things in there, and it's super, super lightweight, it doesn't get in the way, and this is the perfect Disney day bag for me. The last Disney day bag that you could consider taking is one of these bad boys. Now if I'm not mistaken, I think we actually bought this from Disneyland Paris, but I'm pretty sure you can buy them all over the place within the Disney parks and also from elsewhere. And it is basically a small bag, and when you unfold it, it turns into a full-size backpack. And it looks just like this once it's completely unfolded. Now we like to use this style of bag for our Disney day bag since it can fold up super small, so if there's a giant bag check queue, you can fold it up, just kind of rearrange all the things inside, and then once you've gone through, you can take the bag out of your pocket, unfold it, and shove all your stuff in there, and then anything you buy throughout the day, if you have any food that you don't manage to finish and you'd like to take with you, or you buy any souvenirs, then you can easily just shove them into this bag. And if you do end up using up everything inside, again, you can fold it up and you won't have to worry about carrying a bag. Now that I've shown you all the types of bags that you could potentially take, I will show you everything that I might put inside my Disney day bag, especially tailored towards summer 2020 with some restrictions in place and extra requirements to go inside the parks. The first thing that I will definitely be taking is a face mask. Now I will probably have one that I will be wearing all day and a spare one just in case it's needed for any reason. And this is an absolute essential. You cannot enter the parks without one, so I would definitely recommend getting one or making one and a spare as well. The next thing that will be going inside my Disney day bag is always some kind of purse. Now obviously if you're watching this while planning to go to Walt Disney World, you will have all your money, your fast passes, your room key, and everything you need on your magic band, but the reason I would say take this regardless is for ID purposes. Obviously if you would like to drink and you look younger, you might have to show them ID. Also if you want to buy anything or upgrade your ticket or anything like that that's kind of expensive, then you might have to show them ID. We've had situations where we've needed ID with us and we haven't had it, so I would definitely recommend taking either a passport or a driving license with you, especially if you know you're going to be buying something. The next must have is a cooling towel, especially for this summer 2020 edition. It's going to be hot out there. I would definitely recommend investing in a cooling towel. This one is from Dr. Cool, but there are loads of brands. They sell them on Amazon, pretty much everywhere. We have quite a few, and it's just a lightweight towel. You can wet it and wring it out and it keeps you cool for hours at a time. I would definitely recommend getting one of these, especially if you get warm easily. The next thing in my day bag, which is an absolute essential, is a poncho. Who knows what the weather can be like in Florida and obviously in the other parks around the world, but especially for Florida, coming towards hurricane season, it can start raining heavily at any minute, and if you don't take a poncho and you want to stay dry, they will charge you around $10 for one poncho. If you take these, I think we probably paid like 50p or maybe not even that for each poncho, so just take it with you. If you don't use it, you can save it for the next day, and it will definitely save you getting completely soaked through if it starts raining extremely hard. That is a definite must-have in the parks, especially if you're heading to Florida. The next thing is a sun cream. We just use this Dry Mist 20 SPF, which is really, really good. Because it's a mist, it kind of cools you down as you spray it as well, which is super useful. And you can also invest in a cooling mist. I think you can buy them from some supermarkets and probably online as well. And that's just something, again, if you get quite warm, you can get one of those cooling mists and it just cools you down as you go. Next thing is a battery pack. So I have this cool Diet Coke one, which I bought from the Coca-Cola store in Disney Springs. Obviously this one isn't that effective. I just bought it because it was cute. What I would actually recommend investing in is a fuel rod. Now this is only the case we actually don't know where it is, which isn't good news, but you can buy these all over the parks and they're $30 as far as I'm aware. And basically you put your $30 in and it will give you one of these tubes, and inside will be a fuel rod, which honestly kind of looks like this but just a bit skinnier. You use up your fuel rod, you go back to the machine and you press swap, you place it in the top, and it gives you a fully charged one out the bottom, completely free of charge. I think they're just the most amazing thing, and they're super useful. You can use it as many times as you want. There's no limit per day or anything like that, so even if you have a massive family and you're constantly needing to get a new one, you can absolutely do that. The next thing that is absolutely necessary this summer is hand sanitizer or antibacterial hand gel. This is not really a good brand, I don't think. It's the only one I could find. I would say make sure to get one of the ones that is 70% or more alcohol, and it will definitely protect you that little bit more if you touch things after you get off rides. Just make sure you use it as often as possible so that you can stop the spread of germs. I would definitely recommend to wash your hands and everything before you eat, but also if you have some of this with you, you're in the queue for a ride and you get peckish and want a snack, then definitely you're going to need your hand gel before you start eating. So I would recommend taking one of these in your day bag. And obviously if you're packing your main suitcase, which stay tuned for more what to packs coming very soon, take a good few bottles of this with you. The next thing I would recommend packing is a stick of deodorant. Obviously it can get very warm, this is personal preference, but if you're the type of person that sweats a lot and you're planning to do rope drop to fireworks, deodorant can come in very handy just to make sure you feel that little bit more fresh in the parks. The next thing is lip balm. This is just like a general thing that people like to take with them everywhere they go, but I would definitely recommend it. Long days outside, you might just want to make sure that your lips don't get too dry or cracked. We are nearly there, I promise. The next thing I would definitely recommend taking is tissues. You never know when toilet roll might run out, or you might have a hay fever attack or a nosebleed, knowing me. You just never really know, especially if you're with children. I would recommend taking tissues and also wipes. Even as adults, wipes are just always a good idea. If you go to eat and sit down at a table, you can make sure to wipe the table clean before you start, even though it will most likely have been cleaned before you arrived. Next thing is a lanyard. Obviously, depending on which park you're going to, some tickets are needed in a lanyard. In Florida, it's all on your Magic Band. Mine has my annual passes and my DVC membership card in, so I just take it with me anyway. But having a lanyard can just be useful if you are at a park where your ticket and fast passes are paper versions, so you need to have them ready at all times. Next up is a sturdy water bottle. There are water fountains all over the parks that can use for free as many times as you like. Obviously, it will be very hot in the summer, so it's extremely necessary to keep drinking water all the time. So having a water bottle like this is super useful. You can just fill it up, it will stay cold, you can drink it, and then as soon as you need another drink, you can head to the water fountains and top up. Also, at all the restaurants, you can get free water with ice in it if you ask for it, and you could easily pour it into here so that you don't have to try and drink it before you leave the restaurant. Next up is one of these guys, which is basically just a wall plug. I've got the American version, but obviously it depends which country you are in and which Disney you're going to, and it has the four USBs in it. So if you're with a little bit of a bigger family and you all want to charge your phones, it means you only have to find one plug socket and everyone can charge their phones at the same time. Obviously, going with this, you will need your phone or iPad charging wires or whatever you might want to charge that requires a USB connection. Also, if you're wanting to use a camera, you need to bring like camera charger or spare batteries or different things like that as well, but that's more of a personal preference thing. You also might want to bring a notepad and pen, especially if you've written down an itinerary or anything like that. You'll want to bring that along with you just to make sure that you can cross off things that you might have done, or just write down little notes of things that you'd like to remember for the future. And definitely bringing your own pen is a good idea in case you need to sign any documents or anything while you're out. I have no idea what you might be doing, but you won't have to share a pen with anybody else. Another thing you might want to take is an autograph book if you are interested in doing that, but honestly, I cannot quote whether they will definitely be doing autographs this summer and in the near future due to the situation. This is a side note, I just finished filming, but I forgot to mention, you might also want to take a small bag with some medications in if you have any specific medications that you need, or just general painkillers, plasters, antibacterial wipes. Blister plasters are a definite must, and also make sure, remember to take your phone and any cameras or other electronics that you might want with you around the parks. The last thing I would say to take is a bunch of snacks. We always tend to take cereal bars or crisps or sweets, or just a couple of things like that to make sure that you have enough food if you get stuck in a queue or anything like that.
And most importantly,
if you are the type of person that likes chewing gum, they don't sell it anywhere in the parks, so make sure you take some with you if you are the type of person that likes to chew chewing gum a lot. Obviously, if you have young children, you will need things like nappies, spare changes of clothes, baby food or milk and things like that. Or if you have a specific need, you'll definitely have more things. But this is just a general idea of the things that I will be taking with me into the parks in summer 2020 and onward until this whole situation gets a little bit better. I do hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful. You now know what you might want to take into the parks with you this summer, and I'll see you next Thursday with a brand new video. Bye!